Well, hello everyone, and hello She Nodes. Today we have a special guest, Cryptomom2. Cryptomom2 does a little bit of everything. She is an attorney, she's a teacher, she's an author, she is the creator of the Blockchain Legal Institute. So I'm excited to talk to her today. Uh, Cryptomom2, thank you for being here, but please give me an introduction of everything that you've done. I actually have your book here today, The Bitcoin Cinderella. So just give us an introduction and tell us, all of your amazing traits.
No, I appreciate. I'm so excited to be on with you. I really love what you're doing, and love the fact that there are more women in this space. And I'm all about empowering knowledge and education, and that's actually how I got into this. As you mentioned, my background's law, but I've always been interested in science, and I actually navigated over to special education because of my interest in brain science, because of how we learn, and wanting to empower everyone to be able to believe that they can do anything. And when I discovered blockchain, it felt very comfortable for me because of the fact that it includes technology, it includes creativity, it includes a little bit of the compliance and law side. So, and also financial freedom. Again, it's the idea that you can make decisions for your own future in a way that might be in the past considered not traditional, but now is becoming a lot more traditional. And in the future, I think is going to be integrated into our way of life without even, thinking about it. I think that whether it's blockchain, cryptocurrency, or anything, again, technology changes our perspective, and it can make life easier if we look at how it can help us. And I started writing books, the Bitcoin Cinderella Adventure series, because I realized that there were all different levels of knowledge, myself included, because I stepped into this space about now 7 years ago. And when I started, I knew nothing. And I'm like everyone else, we're lifelong learners. So there's always something new to learn. But it can be very frightening with all the vocabulary and the terminology that's in our space. And new terms are being created and new things are being developed. And so I really wanted to create something that was not simple in terms of the concept, because the books are very technical, but simple in terms of having story behind it, and then weaving the terms to it in a way that can be easily understood by children, as well as young adults, as well as older individuals. And then it has QR codes to bring you back online, so you can actually, discover where to go for wallets, what, for Bitcoin miners, what hard forks are, soft forks, you name it. So anyway, that's a quick overview.
Yeah, that's really cool. You're really contributing to the space, and you're bringing your talents for what you know and what you're good at to contribute to the space. So I really love that. So you're an author of many books. The Bitcoin Cinderella, I have it. What other books are you working on now currently?
So the second book in the series is the Bitcoin Cinderella and the Seven Dwarves, which is the based in El Salvador, because this one is just about Bitcoin mining. And both the book that you have, the Bitcoin Cinderella, and this book is translated into Spanish and English. And the first book is actually translated into Creole, about to be translated into French. And then I'm writing 2 more books. The second book is the Bitcoin Cinderella and the Pink Sands Treasure of Bermuda, which is going to be about Bermuda's fintech community, and I'll probably be talking about tokens. I'll be writing that in the next month. And then the other book that I'm co-writing, well, writing at the same time, is the Bitcoin Cinderella and the True Stories of Women in Bitcoin. And I'm very excited about that, because there are individuals that I'm interviewing and telling their stories. And that's going to be released at the next Bitcoin conference, which is in Nashville in July. And then there are some other books that are sort of, I'm developing because of being in the law area, I realized, and also I have a 27-year-old daughter. And so I'm always thinking, what does she need? And in thinking what she needs, I realize other people need it too. I'm an advocate for everyone to have a will. And if you don't have a will, reach out to me, because there are very affordable ways to create a will. But if you are a holder of any digital assets, whether it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, NFTs, anything, you need to have the an organizer, whether it's one you create or one that I'm in the process of creating, that your executor will know where your assets are, and your family will know how to access those assets. Because if you don't have an organizer that can say that you have this property, then when something happens to you, it will stay there and your generational wealth will disappear. So if you're buying anything online, you need to document. And I cannot tell you some of the horror stories that I've experienced for not documenting. So I'm really a strong advocate. Write everything down, make sure people know where it is, only because you need to be able to share this, because that's why you're doing it. You're not just doing it to have something online, you're doing this to help your family.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's something that it's definitely a problem that needs to be solved as far as being able to access it and have your family members access it who aren't familiar with a hardware wallet or even how to use a software wallet. So that will be interesting to see. Speaking of things, you had mentioned that you're also a miner.
I am.
Bitcoin. Tell me about that. How did you get into that?
So that's gone through a variety of phases. When I first entered this space, I bought an altcoin, and I was very glad that I did. I'm going to get to the story of the Bitcoin in a second, because it showed me an ecosystem. It was a very unusual coin because you could buy food, you could buy clothing, airline, everything. So that showed me the power of what cryptocurrency or tokens could be. But again, like a lot of us, sometimes you're not sure of the liquidity behind the tokens. And so, I started to look at what Bitcoin was, and I realized, wow, that is truly decentralized. It's not created by a company or a foundation or something. And I thought, well, how does this work? And so then I, with my Cryptomom2 talk show, I interview a lot of people and I reach out to people just so I could educate myself. And then I record it to share for others. And as I was exploring Bitcoin, I realized I would really like to become a miner. I really want to learn more about this tech because, again, I've created NFTs. I try to always understand the tech side. Maybe I'm not good at it, but so the mining felt, again, like this is something I wanted to go down. So I ended up connecting with a company and going through, learning about the wallets, learning about insurance and the mining pools. And that's really the Bitcoin Cinderella and the Seven Dwarfs really is, and talks a lot about the just Bitcoin mining and the history. And so I loved the idea of the daily drop. It just, it felt, I could look at my wallet, even if it was just a little bit, and it was like, oh, that's a nice little reward there. So, and I'm about to buy my next machine. So, in about another hour, I'll have another machine, and I'm really excited for it because again, I look at this as long term. Wherever, again, none of our shows are investment advice, but you have to think about what it is you want for your own personal family. But for me, this was my retirement. So I'm looking at everything that I'm doing online as, okay, I'm not a traditional financial person. I just never resonated with that. But when I learned about cryptocurrency, when I learned about Bitcoin, when I learned about just the various things that are happening in the decentralized finance world, it just felt like I want to learn more, and I want to control my destiny financially through this mode.
You're definitely a doer. You look at it, you learn it, and then you want to do it. So that's definitely the way.
And as a teacher, because right now I'm in the elementary side, I'm looking at where are young friends going and what will they need to know, and what is the world going to be like for them as they get older, and how will this financial market be, and how do we teach them to stay safe, and to invest wisely, so.
So tell me about, how did the Blockchain Legal Institute evolve?
So I feel really blessed. I have been with individuals who have mentored me, and so I definitely believe in giving back. And so when I was at the Bitcoin conference in May, And also the Bitcoin Cinderella and the Seven Dwarfs was sponsored by CleanSpark at the conference, so I could give away 1,000 copies. And so as at the booth giving them away, a young attorney came up and said, how'd you get into this? And so we chatted for a while, and she wanted resources. And I said, I'm happy to share. And when she walked away, I realized, I've been reading for so many years. I've been doing this. And it's, when someone new steps into the space, it's not easy at all. It's, it's overwhelming. And there's so much change going on, especially in the legal side, compliance side. And so I turned to my associate, who's my co-founder now, and I said, this is my vision, how I want to do this and this and this. We need to create a centralized library that will have all the decentralized resources within it. And I said, how do we do this? He said, well, this is how you do it. And he's my CTO, and I can share screen, at some point to show, but basically there's verticals on the learn side: Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain use, artificial intelligence, events, news, for associations, perks, for lawyers, for CPAs, it's for consumers, businesses, it's anyone that wants to understand both content as well as has laws from all 50 states, has laws from around the world. And it's been, depending upon when your listeners are catching this, July 2023 is when it was given birth. So really right now we're in November. It's only been up for about 4 months, but it is rich with resources. And we just did a phenomenal broadcast in October. It was 3 hours worth of content on AI and EU and fintech and a lot of other things. The Premier of Bermuda was our keynote speaker. And that's also on the front page of the Blockchain Legal Institute. Our next event is March 21st at 1 p.m. And I'm reaching out to another phenomenal woman who's the premier, and I'm hoping she'll say yes, and then I can announce it. But again, there are a lot of thought leaders in this area, and we're going to be talking about digital assets and how that's real world assets now that are being embedded. We're also talking about blockchain finance and a slew of other topics, but it'll be in the middle of the day this time at 1 p.m. So that way different time zones can actually connect in, and it's free. It's, there are some certified classes that we're listing on that individuals can register for that are from universities, which you have to pay for. But these broadcasts are free for everyone to learn and to know what resources are out there.
Yeah. So a lot of the information that you're posting is free that anyone can access.
Yeah, it is a membership-based platform because some of the APIs that I want to integrate are like $3,500 a month. But there's definitely a lot of complementary content, and if someone can't necessarily afford the subscription, just reach out to me. Again, the purpose is to share. I do want this to be, I sort of have this kind of mindset. I do want to have corporate sponsors to underwrite some of the parts of the Blockchain Legal Institute, but I also want it to be decentralized and supported through members, because I don't want any one company to be in control of the content. This is, free marketplace, and I want to make sure that the content is not from opinions, but is factual, and from multiple diverse resources, so that way people can actually use it to do their research to decide what to do next.
Yeah, so I've been on the site. It's amazing. I'm wondering if maybe you could share it, so we could take a look at it.
The verticals, there's the news vertical, there's the learn side. We have internships and a lot of contributors and different classes. We have AI, we have the Bitcoin, all these are not static topic areas. If I see that there's a new topic area that is not here, I'm adding it, and I have a whole list of new topics that I'll be adding on. So from the state side, we have the laws here, and We have, different, obviously, countries. This is still growing, huge amount. And then we have our perks. We have the associations. I'm the talk show host for the Government Blockchain Association and the media ambassador for GBBC. And then we have information for lawyers as well as accountants. And then we have, scrolling up here, we have an honorary advisory committee, thought leaders. We're associated with the Anti-Human Trafficking Intelligence Initiative. We have events and the about side. So we have, and then if you'd like to join, these are the reasons why, because you can learn about the law and compliance, but also know about other media and events. You can definitely network, and you can also publish on here if you want to submit things. And we're also doing research. So the next summit is here. And then these are some of our partners. And I spoke at a Bermuda Tech Conference, which was phenomenal. And I'm doing some major research on our own court systems. I'm very excited about that. It's, very exciting. So people can definitely join and contribute and publish and be part of the change that we want to have happen.
It looks like a lot of good value information. So I'm excited to get updated.
Yeah. It's constantly changing because that's the thing. There is no the BLI is definitely the centralized library, but before BLI was created, there was no central hub which would pull resources from around the world. So that's why I appreciate the contributors that are from around the world that are helping build the platform, because when they hear something, they shoot it out to me and say, you need to put this on there. And then it gets uploaded. And so, again, we have individuals who are the eyes and ears in different countries who are helping stay current, and I know that's this will be, similar to our Library of Congress and Wikipedia. It's just going to be massive over the coming years in terms of just resources. Data center, which is really what it is, will end up moving over to the blockchain. But right now it's, sort of like a Web3 hub.
Amazing. That's amazing. You do so much.
If I can understand it, then I can write about it, and then others can learn about it. And then that's how the next generation goes.
Yeah. I love that. Nothing's unreachable to you. You're going to try it. So that's amazing.
I'll try it. I might not be good at it, but I'll try it.
All right. That's right. Well, I do have one last question. You had mentioned about your time management. You do so much. And so I'm just curious, what is your morning hack? How do you keep everything together? Is there one thing that you've been able to do as far as a hack in the morning that has kept you on target and made you successful?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I am an early riser. And I do try to get, 7 to 8 hours, but that doesn't always work, especially if you're traveling. I find that by getting up an hour before my day needs to go for at least until I retire, I'm still teaching. So I get up an hour before I actually have to get ready to leave for school, because during that hour, then I'm either talking to Europe, because sometimes the people that I need to talk to are ahead of me or behind me. But that's when I kind of write down I either do it the night before or then the morning, what I need to accomplish during the day. And then I also divide my list up. So I know that if I'm working on multiple projects, in fact, I have on my board, I am looking at it. I have the categories, and I sometimes use sticky notes, but I'm definitely a list writer. And, but I know that I need to at least touch one thing every day of the categories that I have. So I can at least rotate through everything. And the other thing is I will always answer my emails within 24 hours. So everyone will always get a response. And then I started to use, which really has helped me a lot, my Google Calendar. So what I'll do is, if I know that I need to contact someone, I'll put their name and the date that I have to contact them into the Google Calendar. So that way, that's my online list. And so sometimes a day will have 50 things on it. And then I'll look at that calendar and think, okay, I can't do all of those, but which of these, I then divided into three: the highest priority, the medium, and the low hanging fruit. And if it's a top priority, then I'll make sure that I hit it. But I've also learned, and maybe it's just, the years of doing business, I don't sweat it if I don't get to something. It's, I give myself the grace of knowing there is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's the idea of the flow. And I'm really, really lucky that I have good health, because when I have been sick, that you have to sometimes just have that downtime and be okay with the fact that you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So so there are going to always be the ebbs and flows, and everyone's rhythm is going to be different, and so there also has to be the understanding that not everyone's going to be able to do the same amount or this, and it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So sometimes things are going to take longer, and in the creative process, when I'm writing a book, sometimes it just takes a long time, and that is just pushes everything else aside. So patience is the other thing that I've kind of taught myself, just to kind of give myself, because again, one of the things in talking, going back to my health, I think part of when I've gotten sick, it's because I have felt stress. And because then your body internalizes things. So if you can kind of, and it's not an easy lesson to learn, but if you could kind of learn to let things go, sometimes that things are out of your hands, and move to the next thing, then it doesn't internalize in your body, and then you won't feel the stress, which then creates the illness. Not all illnesses are created by stress, but I know that for me, sometimes when I've been under a lot of pressure, that's created stress, and then I've had that spiral. So it's taking all this in, and that's why I'm saying that the projects that I'm doing right now are fueling me. They're giving me the positive energy that make me want to get up early in the morning and get going, and that's why, for anyone who's listening, just find one small thing that you're passionate about, and let that be the magic for your day. Again, it should be fun. Our days in our life should be fun, and even on the days that it's not, we should at least try to find some joy. So
that's really good advice. And it's about the passion and the purpose, and enjoying that day, because we're not promised the next. So
yeah. So